What if the reason you feel mentally exhausted is not because your life is hard, but because your mind never truly rests? Every morning starts the same. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through other people's lives, rush through responsibilities, force yourself to stay productive. And somehow, even after doing so much, you still feel empty. And the strange part is, modern society calls this normal. But deep inside, most people are silently tired. Tired of noise, tired of pressure, tired of pretending they're okay. And maybe that's why millions of people around the world have become fascinated by Japanese philosophy. Because Japan didn't just build technology. They built psychological systems for surviving life peacefully. Not through motivation, not through constant positivity, but through acceptance, awareness, silence, and balance. The first philosophy is called Wabi-Sabi, and honestly, this one idea alone can completely change the way you see yourself. Wabi-Sabi teaches that imperfect things are not broken. In fact, their imperfections are what make them beautiful. In Japan, there's an old art called kintsugi. When a bowl breaks, they don't throw it away. They repair the cracks using gold. Think about that for a second. In most societies, damage decreases value. But in this philosophy, damage becomes part of the beauty. And maybe humans are exactly the same. Because most people spend their lives trying to hide their flaws. They hide their anxiety, their heartbreak, their failures, their insecurities. Social media has trained people to look perfect, even when they're emotionally collapsing inside. But Wabi-Sabi says, aging is natural. Failure is natural. Sadness is natural. Change is natural. Nothing in life stays perfect forever. Not relationships, not success, not even happiness. And strangely, the moment you stop demanding perfection from life, life starts feeling lighter. A cracked cup can still hold tea. A tired soul can still heal. And a person who has suffered deeply can still become incredibly beautiful. The second philosophy is Ikigai, a word that roughly means your reason for waking up in the morning. And honestly, this is something modern society is slowly losing. A lot of people are surviving, but they are not truly living. They wake up tired, work without meaning, chase goals they don't even care about anymore. And eventually, they forget who they were before the pressure started. Ikigai asks a very uncomfortable question. What makes your life feel meaningful? Not impressive, not profitable, meaningful.
Because those are completely different things. In Okinawa, Japan, one of the places with the highest number of long-living people, many elderly people still wake up every day with purpose. Some garden, some teach, some cook, some create art. Not because they're forced to, but because purpose keeps the human spirit alive. And maybe purpose isn't something huge. Maybe your Ikigai is helping people, learning, creating, teaching, writing, understanding emotions. Or maybe your purpose is simply becoming the kind of person you needed when you were younger. The truth is, people can survive stress longer than they can survive emptiness. And when life has no meaning, even success starts feeling emotionally hollow. The third philosophy is Wa, the philosophy of harmony. Modern culture constantly tells people, be louder, win every argument, prove yourself, dominate. But Wa teaches something completely different. It teaches emotional balance between yourself and others. That's why in Japan, people are often careful about how their behavior affects everyone around them.
Public spaces are quieter. Social interactions are calmer. Respect is shown in subtle ways. Not because people are weak, but because harmony is considered more important than ego. And honestly, most mental exhaustion today comes from constant emotional conflict. People are arguing all the time, competing all the time, performing all the time. Very few people feel internally peaceful anymore. Waugh reminds us that peace is not passive. It's intelligent. Sometimes maturity is not reacting immediately. Sometimes wisdom is staying calm when everyone else is loud. And sometimes protecting your inner peace is more powerful than proving a point. Modern society rewards attention, but Japanese philosophy often rewards awareness. That is a very deep difference.
And finally, there is Mushin, one of the deepest ideas in Japanese philosophy. Mushin means a mind without unnecessary noise, not an empty brain, a peaceful one. Right now, most people's minds are overcrowded. Constant comparison, future anxiety, past regrets, fear of failure, fear of missing out. The human mind has become addicted to stimulation. And because of that, silence now feels uncomfortable to many people. But Mushin teaches that not every thought deserves your attention. Some thoughts should simply pass through you, like clouds moving across the sky. Samurai warriors practiced this philosophy during combat, because overthinking creates hesitation, and hesitation creates suffering. But this philosophy is not just for warriors. It's for ordinary people trying to survive modern life without mentally drowning. Because sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop fighting every thought in your head. Just observe it. Let it pass. Breathe. Slow down. And return to the present moment again. That's why Japanese philosophy feels so powerful. It doesn't try to force happiness. It teaches something deeper. How to remain emotionally grounded, even when life becomes difficult. How to accept imperfection without shame. How to live with purpose instead of endless pressure. How to protect inner peace in a noisy world. And maybe that's what most people are truly searching for today. Not more stimulation, not more success, just peace. So tonight, before you sleep, put your phone away for a few minutes. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what kind of life am I building inside my mind? Because your inner world eventually becomes your outer world.